Welcome back to Gil Evans Inside Out, and in this video I'm going to try and complete the harmonization of On the Sunny Side of the Street. As you can see, quite a lot of this has been done, and that's from the first two videos, so go and check them out if you haven't seen them already. As I often do, I'm going to look at the end first and work my way back from there. So let's have a look at this G7. I've got a nice G on the bottom, an F in the melody, and I know I want to end up on that C. So I'm just going to use diatonic notes to climb to it. That would be pretty good. Another option I tried was this one. You could try both and see what you like, but I'll leave it like that for now. On to this D minor. There's a variety of options here. We could use a tritone sub or something else. One option I came up with was to do that. That sort of has a nice contour. That would be another option, tritone sub. I'll leave it like that for now. And this little run up to the C, I think I'll use some contrary motion and do a little run down. Here's what that sounds like. Good. Okay, now for this phrase. This sort of phrase can be quite tricky because the melody is low, so it makes it hard to fit all those voices under there. One way to get around this is to sort of break down the notes in order of importance. So I feel like we've got this B harmonized nicely, or will be, and so this C would be next most important, so I'll put an A there. And then I can think of these notes as a run into that A. That could be an option. Although it's not an amazing line. Something like that could work. This could be an option, tritoning the A minor to an E flat 7, and we get a bit of a nice run up here. The B to the C is a little bit dissonant, but you could put in a B7 flat 9 there. Another option, which I haven't really talked about much in these series, is to have the bass line at a different rhythm. Because our bass line is falling so nicely here from the B to the B flat, maybe I could just have an A longer note. Something like that could work really well. Having the bass just play an A and hold it, and then the bass could move at important junctures in the melody. I think that's a good option for now. I'm just going to go with that. Here's what the bass and the melody sound like together. It sounds good to me. It has a nice contour. Okay, now I'm going to fill in the inner parts. And as usual, I'll start with the most important melody notes, the target chords. On this D7, I've got an interesting challenge. I don't have the root note in the bass. But I feel a chord like that might be fun. It is rootless, but the acoustic bass would play it, and that chord will have a nice crunchy light sound. Okay, I'll keep filling in the rest. Here I'm looking for some sort of A minor. I can see I've got a repeated note, but I'll just address that in a moment, as I might need to change a few things once I've done this chord off the B bass note. Okay, let's have a closer look. So on this B, I've got a B minor 7 flat 5. That all works nicely to the next chord. But I've got a shared B between this G7 and A minor. Something's got to change. Again, you could just go ahead and leave that B as is, but I'm just going to move it just to sort of see what other options I could come up with. So I could flatten that B, which would leave me with quite a crunchy chord, but it is just a momentary dissonance. Here's the chord on its own. And in the sequence of chords, I could make it a dominant chord if I feel like that's a bit too much. Here's what that sounds like. Yeah, that was a little more consonant. You could choose what one you like. Alright, onto this A flat. And that's just going to be an A flat 7 flat 9. Okay, onto this F. I think I'll try for an F diminished. Diminished chords often work well in these situations. That should be good. And I could try for an E minor 11 of some sort here. So I've got my repeated note here. I could change this B on either one of them. It would be nice for this part to move as the others move. I could change that to a C. That might be sort of sneaky. Gives us a D7 over an E. Here's what that little passage sounds like. It's not too bad actually. I'll leave it like that. Okay, the last bit. So now that we've got this A long note, it can be quite fun to harmonize the top notes diatonically. And often I do this using the same shape. So you could say I've broken a few of my own rules here. I don't have 5 distinct pitches on each chord, but I think in a moving passage like this, it's okay. As someone mentioned in a comment recently, it's hard to make rules with music. They're more like principles. You're always going to end up breaking a rule at some point. And that leaves this E flat 13. I could do something like that and leave the third out of it. That might be quite fun and spicy. I'll try it. And now with the third. Okay, so here's the whole thing in slow-mo. That's pretty good. I do notice that after all these nice crunchy harmonies, that the end seems a little too resolved. Gil may have changed something like that. He sometimes put a triad over a different bass note. Let's try an A flat over the C. Yes, something like that could work, especially if there's going to be a repeat after this. It suggests movement. A D flat over a C could also be quite fun. You'll have to choose what you like best. Right, that's it. It's completed. It does seem like a lot of work just for a passage, but being picky with your lines and inner voices is what's going to make the passage swing. I hope you enjoyed that. Please leave your comments and ideas below.